Hello, everyone. Welcome to Beyond the Horror, my AHS after show. You please have to excuse me because I did an aloe and vitamin E facial treatment, and there's no way I am putting makeup on this face after I gave myself a facial. So, okay, we're gonna you can all totally take the hits at me in the comments, but that's okay. I have great, clean skin. So, Blaze, it is so great to have you. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry you didn't like the episodes. Tell me why, darling. Cammy, all right.
It's Friday afternoon. Celebrate the start of the weekend with your Alexa routine. Hope you have a good one.
I'm so sorry. That was Alexa. For some reason, she was just like ready to say hello. Hey, Glenn, how's it going? So glad to have all of you here. Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about episode 3. I was going to also talk about episode 4, but I've been having a problem with YouTube lately. My episode 1 and 2 were received a copyright strike. So with episode 1, I did the corrections, re-uploaded it, and it was fine. It was uploaded, it was accepted, it was great. The second one, though, I have been working on for days. Fixing the freaking sections that YouTube keeps telling me to fix that are supposedly copyright infringement. I literally at the 15th time, I was so done when they said that I still had a copyright on that video. I was so pissed. At that point, I was like, I'm just going to dispute it because I usually don't dispute YouTube. They can terminate your channel. You know, they can certainly do certain things to your channel if they wanted to. So I've tried to stay off their radar, if you know what I mean. And unfortunately, I don't know what it is about episode 2, but episode 2, my review with that is just so on the radar right now. So unfortunately, it's going to take a little bit of time to get episode 2 approved. But if it doesn't get approved soon, what I'll do is I'll just put a voiceover with photos instead of videos. So I am so glad to see you here, Dead Pop Star. Glad to see you, Mr. T. Thank you so much for being here as well. Glenn says it is heavily rumored that there will be a Chanel-Halloween video posted online to announce Scream Queen's return this Halloween. That would be nice. You know, that would absolutely be nice. I know Scream Queens is supposed to come back, so I'm really excited for it. And again, guys, I gave myself some skin treatments today for my face and my hair, and I realized I have my Beyond the Horror, and there's no way I'm putting makeup on or doing anything to my hair after I've given it treatments. So you're just going to have to absolutely just take my ugliness today. Okay, so let's talk about episode 3. Guys, I want to also give you a little trigger warning on this episode. When the thing with the club happened, it just hit me really hard. And I knew there's a lot of you out there too who are probably hit very hard with that scene as well. So I just want you guys to know that please, trigger warning, especially when we get to that. Glenn said he wanted to pop in to say hi, but I got to get going. Glenn, you take it easy. Have a wonderful Friday. Jiggle Jello, it is so great to have you as always. Okay, so absolutely episode 3 gets a 10 for me. I just posted the review because I didn't have to work on freaking episode 2 again, which again, guys, I just said it was sadly it was copyright struck so many times. Now I'm in dispute because I'm tired of working on it. I'm tired of working on episode 2. I'm tired of it. So let's move on to something great, and let's say episode 3. Now, Blaze, I know you said that you didn't like these 2 episodes, so tell me why. Tomorrow we will talk about episode 4. I'm just really exhausted, and I'm not going to lie. I just want to get a plate of food and stick it in front of my face and fall into it and breathe in and eat and breathe out to breathe. Breathe in to eat, breathe out to breathe. Does anybody else like ever just want to do that? Because let me tell you, I am so there right now. So that's what I'm going to actually do after this video. I'm going to stick my face in some food, and we will talk about episode 4 tomorrow. I apologize about the delays. My daughter had cheerleading, and just some things are coming up that I just did not expect. And I'm not going to lie, I'm so freaking tired. I'm so freaking tired from fixing episode 2 constantly. I haven't even been able to do any other videos. Okay. Now, 5 minutes in, I've been bitching about YouTube. Let's talk about the actual episode. And again, huge shout out to my patrons. You guys are wonderful, and I really appreciate the support. Okay, so Brad Falchuk and Manny Cotto were writers of this episode. And I have noticed that Manny and Brad have been writing a lot of the episodes together. And such as episode 2, though, Charlie Carver wrote the episode with Manny Cotto and somebody else. So I was really glad to see Charlie on there for a writing credit for AHS. He plays Adam. And I was really, again, just excited to see him there in those credits. A lot of the other actors, too, are producers or are involved in some way other than just with acting. So it was really awesome to see that. But this episode, again, for me was a pure 10. And let's go on ahead and let's talk about Fran and Hannah. Okay. Fran basically tells Hannah that, look, used to be a research tech, or I used to be a lab tech. So I had access to the records, the, reports and all this stuff. And I know all this stuff. Have you ever heard of Operation Paperclip? Well, it's back in this also, another thing happened in 1952 where they took these people and put them on an island to give them human and animal viruses to study them and to weaponize it. And it was just a lot of information for such a short scene. But hold on. Arnie says, how can Big Daddy be a daddy when he wears a collar? I love that. And Miss T says, I think Big Daddy isn't alive because nobody talks to him and seems only by people with the virus. That's a very good catch there, Mrs. T. I was noticing that Mr. Okay, so in this episode, I will go on ahead and talk with Big Daddy about with the whole club thing. Let's just go on ahead and let's just talk about the whole club thing really quickly, and let's just get that trigger out of the way. Theo and Adam go on a date in episode 3, and they go to the Admiral Club, which is a gay men's club, but it's a membership club. Very ritzy. You have to be a member, which Theo is. They're having a date there. They're discussing things. And then all of a sudden, a Mai Tai comes to their table for them. And when the waiter says, hey, guy at the bar sent him over, they see Mr. Whiteley, who is the killer and the guy whose face Adam has been passing around everywhere, trying to get everybody like, have you seen this guy? This guy is killing, people in the male gay community. So he sees him, and right as he starts to go after him, we hear Dunaway crying that the doors are all locked. And sure enough, people are checking. All the doors are locked. Theo kicks through the front door lock. And when they come out, Big Daddy is right there with the Molotov cocktail. And he just dunks that thing right into the club, and it sets the place ablaze. And I don't understand, though, how Dunaway got so much I got so much burn on her when Isaac and Adam barely had any, and they were right beside her. Thank you so much, Zach, that guy. You are such a wonderful patron. I really appreciate you with the super chat, and I really appreciate your support of my tiny little channel. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It was so traumatic because after that, Big Daddy just like turns around and walks away. I was like, it's nothing. So Dunaway saw him, Theo saw him, Adam saw him. As far as we know, everybody saw Big Daddy. However, when Theo entered the club, Big Daddy was behind him. So maybe he just didn't see him. So that is causing to the question of, is Big Daddy a ghost or is he a real person? I am more likely to say that Mrs. T is accurate in saying that he's a ghost. And here's what I'm going to make a theory about who's Big Daddy. And I just want to go on ahead and just say it real quickly here with you guys while we're in this section of the club fire, because that honestly was just so traumatic. Lucas, I am so glad you made it too. So glad to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so obviously Big Daddy and Mr. Whiteley are not working together, because why would Big Daddy throw in the Molotov cocktail if his partner slash, co-conspirator is in the club, he would have killed him, especially with all the doors locked. And Mr. Whiteley was in there when the Molotov cocktail was thrown. And I guess he was in the bathroom or he hid somewhere, maybe behind the bar. So he didn't really get burned, but he did get smoke inhalation. So obviously, those two are not working together. It just does not make sense that he would do that, Big Daddy would do that. Okay. So I think that I'm sorry, I just dry heave now whenever I say his name. Sam and Big Daddy, I think they are not together, but connected. Okay. So here is my kind of little idea on Big Daddy. My idea on Big Daddy is that he is like something from Hotel. Sam, ugh, I should just keep calling him Zach from now on because I can't even say the name. It's so gross. The character is so disgusting and skeezy. But Sam has committed tons of atrocities down in his basement dungeon. Things that he claims were consensual, but we all know better. We all know better that it wasn't. So, more than likely, the perversions and the awful, terrible things that Sam did down there created maybe Big Daddy. So, remember in Hotel, if you guys haven't actually seen it yet, I do apologize. I'm not trying to spoil things, but do you remember the demon, the drill demon? Okay, that thing was born out of the perversions of Sally and, all of them there and all of the drugs and the witchy practices that they did. That's what the drill thing was born from. So I'm thinking Big Daddy is almost like a representation of the victims from Sam. Does that make sense? So I'm going to write this down. I'm going to actually give you guys a little bit more of a better explanation. But I really think that that is who he is. And therefore, whoever Sam doesn't like, he sends Big Daddy after. Okay, so let's consider this really quickly. He doesn't like Patrick. And Patrick got the call on the phone this episode to tell him, hey, meet me somewhere and come find me. It wasn't Mr. Whiteley. It was somebody else. I thought it was Mr. Whiteley at first, but then when he actually went to meet up with them, it was just some rando Chad that he hooks up with. God, I can't believe Patrick did that to Gino. I'm honestly still pissed. But Patrick made Sam angry. And then the next thing you know, he's cheating on Gino with this guy who is really big. And he even has that nice spot in the back, like Big Daddy does, where he's so built, and especially his arms. I don't know again about the height. I'd have to check again. But all of a sudden, Patrick opens up his whole leather Big Daddy persona, which, honey, I ain't anybody to judge anybody about their kinks. Let me tell you. So no judgment here whatsoever. I do have to say that more than likely, yeah, that Big Daddy is definitely a person, though I don't think so. I think he's honestly a spirit, or he is a spirit. But if he's a real person, I honestly think that regardless, he's controlled by Sam. I don't know, maybe if that makes sense. So I don't know. I mean, after Theo pissed off Sam a little bit and went on his date with Adam, Big Daddy burned the club. After anybody who kind of upsets Sam, it seems like Big Daddy kind of shows up. I mean, Big Daddy's not just a guy who's just hanging around the park and like, what's up? People want to order a pizza and just hang out and play Parcheesi? No. Not until next episode do we really see what he's capable of. Okay, so we're going to just remember that, next episode just doesn't exist yet. So we're just going to really take it with this one. So, I mean, nobody has touched him. Nobody has moved him, talked to him. He's never spoken. And he's just a person that's there. I don't know. but he is seen. Now, Hannah does not have the disease, and as far as we know, Adam doesn't either. He could possibly now, but there's other people in the show that have seen Big Daddy and they are not infected with the disease. So I don't know. I don't know who he could be. I just Mrs. T says nobody else saw Big Daddy throw that cocktail into the club. They didn't. See, Mrs. T, you bring up a really great point because I don't remember. I guess I just assumed that they did because when um I keep thinking sis. I always want to call her sis. But when Dunaway turned the corner and she saw Big Daddy and him throw the Molotov, she screamed. So, I mean, I honestly thought that they did see him. So I could be wrong. I could be wrong. So I really appreciate you, Mrs. T, letting me know that. Thank you so much. Let's see. Blaze says maybe Big Daddy is a ghost of a past killer that has some unfinished business. Oh, Marklar. Blaze, that's freaking intelligent. Oh my God. Hmm. And maybe that unfinished business has something to do with Sam. Maybe. Wow. Damn, Blaze, you're so good. You and Debbie always throw me for a loop. You guys can always see and catch things that I can't. So I love that. Thank you for posting that. Arnie says, yeah, he was on the strange prowl. Zach says he's got to be dead. How else would it be that nobody has gotten even a scratch on him yet? Right? I mean, and I know he's a big guy, and I'm not going to lie. If I saw someone big like him coming at me, especially at night or even during the day, I'd fucking turn around and run. Absolutely. Especially since he's a walker. But there's a lot of people who would stand their ground because they carry certain things on them, maybe like a gun or a knife or whatever. I'm surprised nobody has put his ass down yet or put a scratch on him. So, I absolutely. I think we are all on the same consensus that Big Daddy is definitely a ghost. We just don't know, like, if he's just something of negative energy that's created by Sam. Is he attached to Sam? What's his backstory? I do want to get the backstory, but I'm really hoping that maybe we're just get a little nothing because I really do like the mystique and the mysteriousness of Big Daddy. So I also have, like I said, theories about him. I don't know if the guy that Patrick, the rando Chad that he hooked up with in the club, in the underground club, was Big Daddy. I don't think it was. It could have been, but I don't know. Big Daddy just seems to always be there chasing after people that have interacted with Sam or they have some deep connection to the underground gay community. So, yes. Guys, thank you all so much for your sweet words. If you are enjoying the video, please don't forget to like it and subscribe if you wouldn't mind. That way YouTube will appreciate me like you guys do. I appreciate it. Thank you all so much. And yes, I definitely stayed up until 3:00 in the morning last night trying to get episode 2 uploaded. I was so pissed. I was so pissed. I just worked so hard and I just could not get it to go. Jiggle Jello said he's too tall and jacked of a person to be moving as fast as he does. And he has to be an ominous spirit of some kind. I really do like that idea. Zach says, I feel like Big Daddy is the lingering feeling of what is to come, i.e., the disease. Damn. You guys are so like existential into this show this year. I love that. Wow. Damn, Zach, you guys are awesome. Lucas says the lady saw him through the cocktail. Oh, the lady said she saw him throw the cocktail. Okay. Okay. And Arnie says, hey, is Mr. Whiteley a past Army medic? And please, does anyone know who the actor is who plays Mr. Whiteley? Okay, I don't know off the top of my head. I have to, I was going to pull up his name for episode 4 review because he just does such a great job. He's so great at skulking and being so pale and sweaty and, like having that skulk look on his face while looking through over his glasses. I mean, he is fantastic. Oh my God. I absolutely love it. Okay. Zach says also, like in Asylum, we had Myrtle Snow play a real character and the Angel of Death. I think Big Daddy is the omen of what pandemic is coming. Oh. With the mask on, nope. How do you kill a ghost? I know, right? Hey, Debbie, thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad to see you. Debbie says, Mary, hey, just popping in to say, I think Big Daddy appears to people who are going to die. And Subway Lady appears to those who are going to die from what Doris warned us about, Lyme disease, deer tick. See what I mean, guys? See what I mean? Oh my God, you guys have the theories, the ideas, the everything. I am so honored that you guys share this with me. Thank you so much, Debbie. Oh my God. Okay, Debbie, we're going to have to talk about that later and then I'll do a theory video on it. Just thanks specifically you. Ah! Guys, I have to say one of my favorite YouTubers is in the comments, EJ Marino. Guys, if you do love watching AHS reviews, EJ is a wonderful YouTuber. He reviews a lot of movies. He reviews AHS. He lists his favorites of AHS stories and all that. He covers a lot. He's got a great channel and I love him. I've collabed with him before. He is a wonderful person. So show EJ some love in the comments and go subscribe to him. Go like and subscribe to EJ because he's wonderful. Very wonderful. EJ says, I want Big Daddy to be the supernatural key to this, the sprinkle of older AHS everyone begs for. Yeah, I know, right? That sounds so perfect. Mrs. T said, I could be wrong, but I definitely remember the roommate asking others if they saw Big Daddy too. Ah, okay, Mrs. T. Thank you so much. You know, I guess we should look into that just in case to see if he actually is seen or not. That's really good. So we'll check on that. Debbie, no worries. Love y'all. So sorry I can't listen. EXO, great episodes. I have to rewatch when the migraine is gone. Oh shit, Debbie, I'm so sorry. Turn off all the lights. Lay down. And just get some rest. Okay, now if Debbie's gone, I'm not going to whisper anymore because I've had migraines and oh my God, I just want to drop kick everybody who is loud, especially the sun because it's so bright. And no matter what I do, even blackout curtains don't usually even black out all of it because of where the sun faces our bedroom. So yeah, I totally understand. So feel better, Debbie. Blaze says, and Big Daddy might be like one of those murder house ghosts, like he can pick and choose who sees him. Yeah. You know, I did think a second about Murder House, and I was like, maybe we don't know. Maybe it's like All Hallows Eve, and he can leave his haunt place. But I don't think that's what it is. I don't think that's what it is. Blaze, yes, that's awesome. Oh my God. I am so glad to see you, or so glad to see that theory. Thank you so much. I do love that. Arnie says it was like first season when Ryan Murphy came on the scene and we lost our minds trying to figure out, Rubber Man, and trying to figure out who Rubber Man was. Okay. Oh, thank you so much, Adam Kid. Adam says Jeff Hiller plays Whiteley. And thank you so much to Zach, that guy, for telling us also. I really appreciate that. Oh my God. Okay. I have to say, Justice for Doris. I saw that. Oh yeah, there we go. Thank you, Debbie. That's right. Justice for Doris. I still miss that. So, oh, EJ, Arnie wants to know what shirt you're wearing. Maybe you can help him know at this point. So let me just take a couple of more comments and then let's move on to the next section. EJ says, at this point, I want Gino to team with Lana Winters to cover news stories. Right? They would actually, this would be, 81. So Lana would still be pretty decently young. Yeah. That would be fantastic, EJ. I'd love that. Okay. So Fran and Hannah, beginning of the episode. Fran was a lab tech. She knows about this stuff. And the people that employed her knows that she knows about this stuff. And what she knows basically is that the government has been spending years mixing human and environmental viruses, animal viruses. They've been kind of mixing them and making them as a weapon, weaponizing them. So where they do their testing, I guess like ticks had started infesting on some of the patients. And one of the, I guess, ticks that was on one of the infested people somehow got off the person, latched onto an animal that got off the island. And therefore the disease is spreading. And that connects to the ticks on the deer at, Fire Island. So that stuff right there, I could do without, but I do kind of like the whole Fran and Hannah dynamic, and especially Hannah as the doctor. She was really good in this episode. So I was glad that we got more of Billy Lord and the confirmation on her pregnancy. You can see Billy in the opening episode talking with Fran, and you can see just tiny little baby bump on her little tummy, and it's adorbs. And I noticed last episode, they kind of hid it a little bit with like her bag or with shots that were just chest up. But this time they actually showed it. And I was like, I wonder if they're going to put it in the show. And they did. So Hannah right now is basically trying to find as much research as she can, as much evidence as she can. And she happens to be in the hospital talking to one of the doctors when a lot of the patients from the fire come into the hospital, and she recognizes Mr. Whiteley. And so she starts trying to help and taking blood from certain patients. When she gets to Adam's room, she recognizes him, and they talk, and he tells her, you're glowing. Have you had an ultrasound? And she says, no. And he says, I feel really great about what we did. And she says, me too. So they're obviously not boyfriend and girlfriend. Adam is gay, and Hannah has not expressed her sexual preference. Ain't my business. But they could be past, from a previous relationship. We don't know their backstory yet. We just know that Hannah is having his baby, and that they're so sweet about it. It's so freaking sweet to see two people who are not together, but they're having a baby, and they're just endearing to each other. They're gonna bring a life into the world, and they're gonna do it together. I don't. It was really cute. Yes, you are sweet. Yes, Raider, stop watching. Bye, sweetie. So, Zach, that guy says, what hair is what my family does for migraines? Oh, wet your hair and lay down with your head on a towel, but not long enough to get a cold, just long enough to stop the thumps. Goodness. I had to take Truxamex whenever I had my migraines. Nothing worked. I had to literally get on heavy medication in order to stop my migraines. And thank goodness they went away, because they were part of the arsenic poisoning. So I'm not as lucky sorry, Debbie is not as lucky as me. Mine went away. I only had them for like 6 months. So yeah, I love you, Debs. Blaze says maybe there's two Big Daddies, one alive, one dead. Mrs. T said, or Big Daddy's trapped in New York City, like Murder House. I wouldn't put it past Brad and Manny to do that, because it's apparent that Ryan is having nothing to do with this season, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm liking this season. It does not matter if Ryan's in it or not. But if they did that, Mrs. T, I think I would just probably stop watching. I would be so like, no. Blaze, everybody loves your idea. We love it. Or thank you so much. Alicia, so glad to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Zach says, I didn't think of that. What if there's like 4 or 5 Big Daddies? It would be like Chippendales of murder. That's the truth. Arnie says, I gotta ask, the scene where Mr. Whiteley is playing with the needles and claiming you don't have to sterilize needles reminded me of another movie scene. I think it was from Drive, American Horror Stories, where Bella Thorne was talking about sterilizing things. It's like, why? It's just a force of habit, but why do you need to sterilize it? It's not like an infection is going to matter. I think that's where you're thinking of. Oh, yeah, the Arnie says Trex-Mex. Woo! That is powerful. It is, because literally, it was so bad. It was awful. So, yes, I am so thankful that I do not have them anymore. And, let's see. So, Stuart actually gets out of his cell, makes it out of the apartment, which is so funny that the freaking, Big Daddy is the bouncer. I mean, what does he do? Does he just watch after Sam's house during the day, and then at night he likes to stroll and stalk people in the garden? I mean, I'm certainly not one to judge against anybody's sexual proclivities, but I don't know. I don't know. That's just not, maybe call me crazy. That's just not for me. I wouldn't want to spend my life like that, but maybe Big Daddy does. So we can actually, hopefully, we'll get a little bit more information again on Big Daddy soon. And I will absolutely be doing a theory video on him. So Stuart makes it to the police department. Surprise, surprise. He sits down with Patrick, and Patrick takes a statement. And Stuart tells him, "Look, he called me on the phone from, I was outside of this place called The Ditch. He called me, I picked up, I went over. It's not the craziest thing I've ever done." So Patrick takes the information, and him and Gino have an actual honest conversation that night. Gino confronts Patrick about his box and his lies and his secrets. And Patrick actually admits, yeah, you know what? I used to be into leather and chains and whips. Yeah, I was. Okay. I mean, he didn't have to hide it from Gino. I don't understand why he didn't tell him, but that does prove that Barbara is right, that Patrick is hiding things. And that definitely continues in this episode, as you'll see. Excuse me. Because Patrick goes to the phone that Stuart was at when he got picked up by Sam. I don't know if his whole thing was to be picked up by Sam or to be picked up by the killer. I don't really understand what his intention was. Maybe it was just for a lead. I'm not sure. But finally, after being there for hours, he gets a lead from a guy giving him an address that says, come see me at this place. I've been watching you. Come see me. Patrick goes there, and instead of questioning him or anything else, he makes out with him and whips him like butter. I mean, if Beverly Leslie were here, he'd say, well, well, well. I am just that scene, guys, just got me. I couldn't believe, number one, that Patrick was cheating on my Gino. Seriously. That was when I was shocked of. And number two, that it was just some rando Chad in a basement when he knows there's a killer out there. I mean, I'm just I said it in my episode 2 review, and I know it's not put it up yet, but these people are being told constantly, there's a killer out there. Stay inside. Stay safe. Adam's going to parties with his friends, meeting up with Theo on dates. Gino's just going to all these leather bars. So Patrick, they are all they're basically not preaching and not doing what they preach, so to speak, not practicing what they preach. I was just really shocked again at just some of the things in this scene, and the whole thing with Patrick and the whip. Woo! Okay. We're gonna keep going because another character is let off the subway, and possibly don't really get to see him again, but he did have a rash on his arm. So definitely to show that some of these victims that are disappearing do have the virus. So let's see. And also in this episode, guys, when Gino goes to see the manager of the club, of the Ditch Club, that's Rebecca Dayan, he mentions the Son of Sam killings. Gino says that the murders that are happening in New York City need coverage like the Son of Sam killings. And that's finally the first killing, or the first mention of Son of Sam. So I'm really hoping we get a little bit more rather than just a mention, because that would kind of seem like AHS trolling us on that. So But let's talk about the last part really quickly, and then I will take your comments. Okay. End of the episode. Everybody's at the hospital. Mr. Whiteley, Adam, Theo, Patrick, Gino. Sounded like a rhyme. Dunaway, everybody's there. Dunaway is severely injured. And again, I don't understand how she got severely injured and Theo just walked away with a slight burn. Adam had nothing except a little smoke inhalation, and they were all standing in the same place. It really didn't make sense to me, but that's okay. Let's just go with it. Um, Adam asks Theo to call Gino. Gino and Patrick come to the hospital, and he tells them the Mai Tai killer was at the club. He's got to be here in the hospital. So Patrick and Gino split up to search the hospital. I was about to say split up and search the house, but that's Clue. That's my bad. I was about to go to the wrong place. um, it was such a great tense scene of basically Gino and Mr. Whiteley playing cat and mouse with each other. They would see each other a couple of times, and Mr. Whiteley would get away, and he would be behind Gino walking away. I mean, it was really a great tense moment of the search with them two. And then Mr. Whiteley gets down to the morgue where I would have just knowed the fuck out of that. But Gino has got bigger balls than me because he went inside that morgue, got us a little I want to say scalpel. I think that's what they are. And was like, okay, I'm going to open these little morgue freezers because I think he's hiding in there. But what he doesn't understand is there's chloroform usually in a morgue. So I was just like, nope. Oh God, he's not in there. He is waiting for you to put you out. And sure enough, that's what happened. When Gino was distracted by looking under the sheets, Mr. Whiteley came in behind him and chloroformed him and got him down. Got him on one of the metal beds, one of the metal freezing trays, and tied them all up, stuck them right in there. Oh my God. Poor Gino. Poor Gino. I feel so freaking bad for him. But I have to say very quickly that the first body that he pulled out, how did he not know that that wasn't the guy he was looking for? It had boobs. So, I mean, unless Mr. Whiteley was like under there with his little hands pretending to be boobs, that wasn't, who he was looking for. He could have just deduced that by just simply looking. But, you know. But I really enjoy, oh my God, guys, it was so freaking tense. So tense. And I really enjoyed it. So I want to know what you guys thought as well. Freezing trays. Yes, I know, right? Mrs. T, the 80s when anyone could get anywhere in a hospital. I know, right? At any kind of time of day. I'm Eddie Anthony. Great, Eddie. It's so glad to see you back. Eddie says in the beginning of episode 3, piqued my interest. Sandra Bernhardt character spilled some tea. Dude, seriously, we got so much information in this episode than we have with any other episode. It's been extremely satisfying. Zach, that guy says how packed that hospital was made me feel like I was watching Chernobyl again. Right? Oh yeah, that's true. Yes, darling Eddie, I'm talking about number 3. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk about number 4. I was going to talk about it tonight, but after I'm done with this stream, I'm going to grab some food, stick my face into it, and eat the hell out of it. Eddie, you're awesome. Thank you for being here. Connor, always live your truth. Or Kevin, I'm sorry. I thought it was said Connor. I'm sorry. Kevin says, always live your truth. Damn right. Arnie says Patrick will always confuse me. He is just like Al Pacino in Cruising. I tried to see Cruising. It's been so long since I've seen it, a really long time. And I did not understand it at first because I was so young. I mean, I think that movie came out in like 82, 85, 82, sometimes in the early 80s. So when I saw it like in the mid to late 80s on VHS, I didn't understand it very much. So yeah, I haven't seen it to where I can actually connect with it. Blaze, you are so sweet. I as well wish Angela Bassett was in this season too. She's been doing great in 911. She's been doing great in other movies and other productions. So I'm sure she just probably didn't have the time. And I'm sure with how hardcore this season has been so far, maybe that wasn't something that she had time for or that she could get ready for, prepared for actress wise, you know? But I absolutely agree. I wish Angela Bassett was back in this season. And when they do put out season 12, I really want her to return. One last season with all of the great OGs. If Jessica can't do it and she doesn't want to, I ain't gonna yell at her. But if like Sarah and Evan and like maybe Connie and Dylan and all of them could kind of, I was about to say Dylan McDermott. Yeah, that's the right one. That's Dylan McDermott, not the other guy. Dermot Mulroney. That's right. They're so confusing. So yes, I mean I miss a lot of the old actresses and actors as well. So I absolutely hear you there. Yes, I absolutely miss Angela Bassett too so much. But guys, let me know in the comments, what did you rate this episode? For me, I rated it a perfect 10. Yes, yes, suspense, shocking moments, and all of the tea we got gave me a 10 for this episode. I want to know what you guys rate it. Let me know in the comments. Now, again, Big Daddy obviously does not work for Mr. Whiteley. And Mr. Whiteley, I mean, wow, him and himself, he is an enigma. So we have, we have Sam, we have Big Daddy, and we have Mr. Whiteley. It's almost like 1984 when we had Mr. Jingles, and then we had Dylan McDermott being a killer, and then we had Richard Ramirez. I mean, there was serial killer galore in 1984. So it almost seems like that's what's going on now for this season. I don't mind it. I know a lot of you out there are not liking this season. I really love Find Your Own Road. They're a great viewer of mine. They're so wonderful and fantastic. A lot of you are wonderful viewers of mine, and I am so sorry that you are not enjoying the season. I really am. I mean, when I was watching EJ Moreno's reviews, EJ really hit it home when he said, it just depends on what your definition of horror is. For me, my definition of horror is something that does not include torture porn. You know, other than that, like movies such as Heredity, Amityville Horror, Exorcist, Mausoleum, you know, Basket Case, I mean, Quarantine, Psycho, Predator, all those stuff. Those are my type of movies, but not Last House on the Left, you know, just the Saw movies and those kinds of things. I have a certain preference for horror. And so when he said, look, this season definitely isn't for everybody. It may not be as scary as what we would want, but you know, everybody's definition of horror is very different, and everybody's taste of horror movies and horror stuff is very different as well. So I thought that was just so hit home with EJ when he said that in his review. So please go check out EJ's review, guys. I love his reviews. I always watch his reviews too. I am going to go ahead and end the stream probably in about 5 minutes because I'm not going to lie, my stomach is yelling at me. So let me go on ahead. I am going to answer Blaze's question before we end the live stream. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you guys to put your scariest movie that you've seen into the comments so we can talk about it just real quick. While you do that, I'm going to go up here and I am just going to look at what you guys rated this episode. Okay, Eddie Anthony says I'm getting 1984 and hotel vibes from the season. Arnie says AIDS, COVID horrors for me. Right. Eddie says that the episode rated an 8.5 for him. Okay, that's a good rating, Eddie. I really like that. Eddie also says Sarah and Evan completely would have fit perfectly in this season. You know, who would have been Sarah and who would have been Evan? Would Evan have been Big Daddy or would have been Sam? He could have been Adam or Theo. Yeah. And then Sarah could have been Sarah Bernhardt's character. Okay, Arnie gave the show an 8. Good one, Arnie. Blaze gave it a 7. Oh, Blaze. Babe, tell me, why did you give it a 7? Why do you not like it? I really want to know, darling. Is it just too much? Blaze says, I just bought Nope on DVD. You know, I am actually looking for Nope. I was thinking about going over to Walmart and grabbing a copy. I went a couple of days ago, or maybe about a week ago or so, and I still can't find it. And it's either for rent or you got to order it off Amazon. And I just want to go get a damn copy. I am old school. I want to go out there and I want to just go out and buy the movie that I want. So, yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to see Nope. I haven't seen it yet, but I love Jordan Peele. I have all of his horror movies over here. I absolutely love them. Okay, so let's see. And Eddie is agreeing that things are a slow burn. Okay, Blaze said Midsommar, wouldn't watch it again. I love Pearl. Okay, I haven't seen Midsommar yet, but I have watched Ending Explained. So I do love found flicks. So some of those movies I don't watch. I just let them be explained to me. Blaze says, and X. I haven't seen X again. Okay, I haven't seen X yet. I want to see that. White Bear Productions said it's speculated that Scathach is going to return. It's not going to be Francis, but I'm thinking of a young Scathach or another person within the same species. That would be so great. That would be so wonderful. White Bear says 8.9 out of 10, by the way. Thank you. Thank you for your rating. I wonder if I'm the only one who rates this episode a 10. Eddie Anthony says Hereditary. Oh my God, I got it right back here. I love Hereditary. It was so good. I love Toni Collette. I'm a huge Toni Collette fan. If she was to like women all of a sudden, I would probably ask my husband to leave me so I could go be with Toni. She is beautiful and talented, and I would never leave her. I'd love her forever. Toni Collette. I love her. So yeah, I loved Hereditary too. It's movies like that that are really good. Eddie Anthony also said that he loved Nope. And Lola says, how long do you guys think Theo and Adam will last? Oh no, you had to do it, didn't you, Alicia? You had to do it. They're gonna last forever. Forever, like forever, ever. Like Theo's gonna tattoo Adam forever on his chest, or he's gonna like cut it and then break a pin and then like wipe it on there like Mark Wahlberg did from Fear. Gonna be forever, Alicia. Forever. Kevin, you are so sweet for being here and for watching. Thank you. Arnie says, looking around the room, Exorcist watched it at 8 years old in the dark alone. I have Exorcist. I have 1, 2, and 3 right here. 1, 2, and 3. Not gonna lie, I really liked 2. I know it was stupid and crappy, but it was good. Okay, it was worth it. Okay, Linda Blair. Okay, and part 3 was actually written by William Peter Blatty and Friedkin, and he actually directed it. So I love William Peter Blatty. It sucks that he died, but I love him. I love his work, and Exorcist movies were really great. Hey, gay unicorn. It's so glad to have you here. I was being a gay unicorn on Wednesday night in my unicorn hoodie while I watched AHS. Eddie loves the movie too. Let's see. Jiggle Jello says, I rate this episode 8.5. Scariest movie is The Omen 1 and 2. Oh, girl. I got that one back here. You know, I guess if I had to give my scariest movie, I would definitely, I forgot to take the price tag off, so free. I would definitely have to say Mausoleum, because that was the first movie I saw when I was a kid. And I insisted that my mother take me to the theater to go see it. Okay. And I already saw it in the comments, and I've already got it. Don't worry, I got all of them. I love the Leprechaun movies. Was that Zach that guy? Oh, yeah. I love cheesy horror movies. Those literally are my jam. If they're C or B grade, oh, that's my jam. This is my jam. But I guess if I truly had to pick one, it would probably be, well, damn. I mean, guys, you have to understand. I've got the birds here. I've got 2001, 2010. I've got Audrey Rose, Basket Case, Amityville Horror, the Alien movies, Dario Argento movies, the OG Fog, Quentin Tarantino movies, all the Halloween movies, the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, Slumber Party Massacre. Wow. I think it would be really hard for me to actually pick a favorite scary movie. But if I had to pick some favorites, I would pick Clive Barker, Hellraiser 1 and Hellbound Hellraiser 2. The rest of them sucked. Mike is here. Hey, my soul brother. I don't have this up on YouTube, so I will actually add you next time for the admin. So glad you're here. Actually, sadly, we are about to wrap up the stream. But let me just take some comments. The gay unicorn said, scariest is Final Destination. Did everyone hear they are making a new one following first responders? No. I'll have to check that out. Okay. Sorry, says Alicia. I think she thinks that Sam. I'm so sorry. It's whenever I think of Zachary Quinto's character, I throw up on my mouth a little bit. I'm sorry. She thinks that Sam will murder Theo soon. LOL. He knows too much. No. Alicia, if that happens, I'm going to blame you. I'm going to say you put that out into the universe. Not the writers, not the storyline, not common sense, not something that they planned months before this comment or the episode aired. No, it's going to be you. Arnie says, Kevin, good choice. I love anything De Palma makes. Have you watched Sisters? I do like Brian De Palma. When he did the Raising Cain movie, Kevin says, check out Dress to Kill and Body Double. I have seen Dress to Kill. I don't know if I've seen Body Double. Thomas Perry, oh, I'm so glad you're here. If I did not say hello to you before, hello. I love you and I miss you. All right. We miss you, Mike. Thank God you are here. Thank you. This is my soul brother. Everybody be nice to Mike. Him and EJ are my soul brothers. I love them so much. Okay, guys, we are going to go on ahead and wrap up the stream because I want to go shove my face in food. This episode, again, was great for me. There was so much anticipation, so many secrets were let out, so much suspense, and so many WTF moments. I mean, if you go and watch my episode 3 review, after I thank my patrons at the end, I decided, since there were so many WTF moments, I decided to include them at the end with me reacting to them. So if you want to go hear them, I would suggest not wear earphones and keep your volume very low. But yeah, it was a great episode. I love it. And if you guys need to watch the episodes, don't forget, I do give out a link for the show. That's probably why YouTube is all over my ass right now. That's probably why they won't let my episode reviews post, is because I'm giving the link out to everybody to tell them how to watch. Then again, if that's why they're doing it, I don't care. But when episode 2 is finally released by YouTube, again, it's on it's been copyright claimed. All of my episode reviews that I've uploaded, even episode 3, they were all copyright claimed. But I was able to get all of them fixed except for episode 2. And sadly, that's why episode 2 isn't up right now. I just decided I'm tired of fixing it. I'm just going to dispute the copyright claim and just wait it out. So I do apologize, guys. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I'm angry. I'm angry because I'm hungry. I'm so hungry. I need to eat. I'm turning into a little mini Joe Pesci, which I guess that'd be a good thing there. So no OG this season. No, I don't think so, darling. But yeah, I'm gonna go eat. You guys enjoy and check out absolutely the reviews. there's tons of theories, parodies, all that stuff for you guys to check out if you'd like to watch other live streams. And I will see you guys tomorrow so we can talk about episode 4, which that was tense. It wasn't a perfect 10, but it was really great as well. So I can't wait to talk to you guys about it. I will see y'all tomorrow. Link to Beyond the Horror episode 4 is in the description, and it's also in my channel and everywhere else. So I know you guys are awesome. Oh, and yes, McNeil won basically like 67-0. They dominated and humiliated the other team, and my daughter loved being a cheerleader the whole time. I think now I am going to have to be called a cheer mom. Ah, all right. Thank you guys so much again. I love you all. You all enjoy your dinner. You all enjoy your night. I love you all so much, and I will absolutely see you guys tomorrow for the next episode of Beyond the Horror. Have a wonderful night. Be safe, be nice to each other, and beware of sexy scathach. Bye, guys.